Hundreds of people packed the second floor of Daytona Beach International Airport Thursday to celebrate the inaugural flight of JetBlue Airways. The popular low-cost carrier just started daily nonstop service between New York City and Daytona Beach. Jim Deneen, the county manager for Volusia County government, helped welcome the crowd.
I want to give enormous credit to the Volusia County Council, which is responsible for approving the lease with JetBlue and for approving the incentives the county has pledged to make this business arrangement a winner for all. The county is all about setting the table for economic prosperity, and this day is another county success story. I also want to thank our business community partners who are supportive of this new service project, or new service, with money, actual cash, into the travel bank. This financial support is critically important to the JetBlue incentive package. This is the exact definition of a public-private partnership. I want to stop here to say I want to thank all the private partners, but the key private partner, and I know she won't want to be acknowledged for this, has been the Speedway and Lisa France Kennedy, who's here. She was the absolute key in the private sector. Without her support, this airline would not be here today.
Rick Carl is the director of the Daytona Beach International Airport and has worked for years on building and nurturing the relationship with JetBlue. Rick introduced the crowd to Scott Lawrence, Senior Vice President for Airline Planning for JetBlue.
It's my distinct honor to introduce Scott Lawrence, Senior Vice President for Airline Planning for JetBlue. Scott has a lot on his plate at JetBlue. He's responsible for all aspects of JetBlue's network strategy. He also oversees JetBlue's airline partnership portfolio, which includes more than 40 airlines across the globe.
First of all, I will say that we've opened 93 other cities. None of them have been like this. You know, Rick and his stalker phone calls and meetings told me that we would be overwhelmed by the level of support here. And I will tell you, we are overwhelmed. If this continues, we're going to need more ribbons and more scissors and more events like this. This is absolutely outstanding. To see the community rally around JetBlue to welcome us this way is truly special. So again, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for your support of JetBlue.
Thank you.
Community support was a major factor in JetBlue's decision to start service in Daytona Beach. Steve Cook, the airport's former business development director, helped recruit JetBlue.
Well, JetBlue, I think they got their certification in 1999. We basically went up there in 2000. They were in Connecticut. They were on Kings Highway in Darien, Connecticut. And we made our first presentation. We had Kevin Bowler with us from Daytona Beverages. We had George Maribal and Dennis McGee. And we started making our pitch, to them at that time. And over the years, we've been to see them, I would say, dozens of times. Called them maybe hundreds of times. Developed good relation, with JetBlue, and really presented our case many, many times. I think it got more traction back in 2012. We had Dave Barger here, who's the president of JetBlue, and we had about an hour with Dave, Rick Carl and I, and we really got to go through everything that Daytona Beach and Volusia County has to offer. I think at that point we got more traction. At that point, I think they started to listen to us much more, and we started to move to the top of the list.
Jay Cassens now serves as the airport's Director of Business Development and has been involved with nearly every detail of the new airline service.
Bringing a new airline takes many years of preparation. I believe the conversations with JetBlue started back in 2000 when JetBlue first started service. And ever since then, it's been pursued by airport executives and Steve Cook. And just recently, Embry-Riddle and the Speedway really got the ball rolling. And the thing is about air service development and bringing JetBlue here is that it's not just an airport initiative, it's a community initiative. So it's been a long time coming. This has been a big deal. And we're really looking forward to JetBlue being here full time now and being successful and expanding in the future. Even though the airport is a service of Volusia County, the enterprise fund, that's the way that the airport is managed. We do not run our airport or operate our airport with ad valorem tax dollars. The airport revenue that's generated has to stay on the airport, has to be used for the operation, the maintenance and security of the airport. All the money that we generate from the airlines gets reinvested into the terminal and used for future development. Even though there was a lot of incentives involved with bringing JetBlue here, and that's a big part of air service development, and especially small communities. Part of the incentives was, landing fees were waived, ground handling fees were waived, terminal rent was waived for the first year. So there's a lot of incentives involved. There was the travel bank and many others. But what we get back in the end is approximately $21.70 per passenger. And if you span that out over a year, that's over $1 million. And that includes car rental concessions, food concessions, parking, PFCs, which is passenger facility charges, and grants from the FAA. So every passenger that comes through here contributes to really the redevelopment of the airport in the long term.
Some of the people in attendance were local business leaders who contributed financially to the JetBlue Travel Bank.
So the travel bank was a very unique part of the incentive package to lure JetBlue to come to Daytona Beach. The businesses in the area pledged a certain number of tickets to purchase over a 2-year period. There's over 25 businesses, and it's about $250,000 that they have pledged to commit to fly JetBlue from Daytona Beach to New York. Being a natural northern, extension of 95, the east coast of Florida is very popular to them. That direct flight from Daytona to New York and New York to anywhere in the world is really huge from a business perspective and a travel perspective.
Many of the speakers shared the same remarks about the newest airline partner. Teamwork made things happen.
This truly has been a community effort, and your presence here shows the community's enthusiasm for this new nonstop service to New York. It also shows what we can accomplish when we work together.
For this special edition of the Business Beat, I'm Joanne Magley.